had hit my head, I would have been laying down in the bathtub with the shower running and no one would know.
Not missing someone who left, okay? You're missing someone who never even showed up.
And I used to volunteer at this nursing home, and it was so sad when I used to see the older people. They just wanted human interaction.
Most women know that they will get benefits and government assistance from them children. So if they give the children to the father, then how will they get ahead in life?
When you look up deadbeat in the dictionary, you're gonna see that picture right next to it. Get on my nerve. Broke ass.
I am 34 years old and I have no friends, no men, no pets. And I'm scared to die alone.
Wow.
It's the silliest thing that happened to me today. I was just taking a shower like I usually do every day, and I lost the soap while showering, and one thing led my foot on the soap and slipped and almost fell in the bathtub. It hit my head. Luckily for me, it didn't happen, but that 5 seconds that occurred really shook me, and it shook me to the point that it made me realize that I'm really alone.
Wow.
I remember getting out of the shower and be like, if I had hit my head, I would have been laying down in the bathtub with the shower running and no one would know. You know, on social media, people are just always talking about the good side of being single. You know, you don't have to worry about relationship problems, people cheating on you, and all that jazz. But the reality is, well, for me, for some women, and for me particularly, I hate being single. It sucks to come home to no one, to nobody. I don't have a dog waiting for me at home. You know what I mean? I don't have friends that I see on a daily basis. I don't have a group of friends that I talk to on a daily basis. I pretty much do everything myself. And it's sad. It's sad that it's my reality. It's sad that I'm in my mid 30s and I do not have the relationship that I've always wanted, the friendships that I've always wanted, and that I feel that I deserve to have. And it's not that I'm not trying. Like I tried. God, I tried. I tried to meet meaningful people. I tried to date men that make sense, but nowadays on those dating apps, the quality of men out there just, God, that's another topic for another video. But even with adult friendships, it's so hard to not only make new friends, but also to keep existing friends. 'Cause, I mean, just to keep existing, friendships, I try to reach out to people, but then again, people are busy. They have families, they have other priorities. I can't be always leeching on to one person to always hang out. So I just end up doing everything by myself. And I'm always alone. And that's not where I necessarily want to be at, but it's just how my present outcome is. And I don't know, man, those 5 seconds, I was just like, wow, I could have been dead in that bathtub. And no one would have known. How long would it have taken for someone to realize that it has been a couple of days, no one has heard from me or seen me? I don't know, my mind just started spiraling of what would have been the aftermath. And I tried to take my mind out of it, so I went do some shopping. But then I got back home, and I got back home to another empty home, and it hit me hard again. Like, wow, I really am alone. I'm in my mid-30s with no man, no friends, no pets. And truth to be told, I don't want to die alone. I just don't. And I don't know if that is my destiny. I don't know if it will ever change. I don't know if other people are in the same basket as me, but it just sucks. It just sucks. And to everyone, check on your friends. Make sure they're okay, because it's lonely out there. And that's speaking from a 34-year-old woman that doesn't want to die alone.
Man, that right there is a sad situation. The reason why, because she's not coming across like a regular modern woman. She's coming from a place of desperation. You can see in her eyes, she's serious. But this one thing I have to say, I can see in your face what the problem is. I can see in your body, and I can tell there's a mental lapse there, because you're not connecting the two. Like, if you look in the mirror, I'm sorry, it's not okay. And as humans, we have to stop making it seem, especially as Americans, because it happens a lot here, we have to stop making everything seem like it's okay. Being overweight is not good. Having that extra weight on your body is not good. And on your face, no man is going to desire you. They won't. Like, you see some woman, and then they're modern woman, you know what their problem is. But with someone like you, I can tell you're probably a good-hearted woman. But you got certain things that's stopping men from desiring you. And yes, a man will desire you to use you. You don't want that. But a lot of times, those guys don't want to be bothered as well. So what is she facing? But when she said, I don't even have pets, I'm like, man. Because guys usually say, you know, with cats and box wine. She don't have box wine. She probably doesn't drink pets or anything. She's really alone, man. It's sad.
I wish more women knew that not seeing the life that we thought we would have come to fruition is actually grief. Tracy Ellis Ross just named that particular type of grief. She said that she often finds herself mourning not being partnered and not having children. That type of grief hits very differently, right? You're not missing someone who left, okay? You're missing someone who never even showed up. You're grieving someone who was never even born. And I find it so fascinating because being single in this society is such a double-edged sword, right? On one hand, it is glamorized. It's soft life, me era, solo travel vibes, all the things. And then on the other hand, it's stigmatized, quietly judged, like there has to be something wrong with you, which we know that that's not the case, right? But the craziest part is that for this type of grief, there is no ritual. There is no funeral or memorial service like when we lose somebody in the physical realm. There is no divorce party when you finally leave that man. No outpouring of love and gifts and support when you miscarry a child. There is no closure. Even as a friend, I've had to check myself, right? Because my instinct is to fix it, to throw a solution at it, to cheerlead, to play matchmaker, and make sure that they know that they are so much more than being someone's wife, being someone's mother. But real support is just sitting in it, sitting in the discomfort. It's to say, I see you. Not necessarily, oh girl, be patient, he's coming when the time is right, because that's not necessarily the case either. Because here's the truth, being partnered does not guarantee you won't be lonely. Shout out to Cecilia Regina and her Lonely Wife series. If you know, you know. So maybe the real life, the real glow up is in learning to grieve what never was, what never might be, and still learning to build a beautiful life anyway.
I literally cannot express in words how badly I want a relationship. And I'm so embarrassed to say that out loud. I literally made a whole spam account because I'm so ashamed of wanting it so badly. And if I talk about it on my main account that everyone in my life knows, then they all know that I'm a fucking fraud. Like, I am just so tired of dating, and I don't know what it is about me at this point. I've had one relationship and it was terrible. He was insanely abusive. And like, yeah, that's not like normal, but like, I've never had another boyfriend ever since and before. So it's like, it's hard to know where that line is of normalcy. And I just feel like as a woman that's like pretty attractive, I'm okay, you know? Like, people just assume that like, oh, it must be so easy. No, it's terrible. It's literally terrible. And I'm not saying that I'm like the prettiest person in the world, you know, but like, I have good morals. Like, every time I meet a man, like, oh, you're so refreshing to talk to, because I can hold a conversation, because I talk about normal things, because I can't put on a persona. I can't fake it. I can't be this Shira 7 type person. I wish I could, but I can't. I'm so unfortunately genuine. I'm not like super open right away, obviously. Like, I know how to date, but at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know what it is. Like, I really don't know where it's happening for everyone except me. And I know it'll come when you least expect it. Okay, I've been not expecting it. And then it's like, oh, you have to put yourself out there. So I put myself out there. And it's nothing. It's like, I genuinely think that I'm gonna die alone. Like, I really mean that. Like, I'm so tired. And it's exhausting. And I really try not to let it affect me on a deep level. But it does. And every time I'm outside, it's all I think about. Every time I see a couple, it's all I think about. I genuinely get so frustrated thinking about it, because I've never had something normal. I have never had a normal boyfriend where I can be nice and loving and they are nice and loving. Like, my ex was so mean to me, dude. Like, so mean. He would call me names. He would do so much to me. It was crazy. And like, I just don't know what it's like to have a guy. I know what it's like to have a guy into you. Everyone's into me. But like, actually want me as a person, as a human being, to date, pretend like forever, that's not a freak. Nope. Even the freaks don't want me. I don't know.
If this is true, what she's saying, and her ex, who was abusive, was her first man, that's why she thinks that way. Look, when you don't have any sunshine in your relationship and all the good times, the little ones you had were good, maybe the only times were good is when you were having sex, that's not good. He never took you anywhere, didn't make you smile, didn't do things to make you happy. That's not good. And this is what it turns out. This is the result of that, right? Her sitting there saying, I'm going to be lonely for the rest of my life. It's wild, because I'm looking at her going, is this a new act modern women are doing? Seriously. And she said that's the problem she gets. And I can tell, because I'm going to look at her and go, there's no possible way, but a lot of women go through this. But I know what their problem is with them, because they usually reject the guys, right? They say, oh, I want to do this, that, and that. And you see it all the time. You see the little snippets. And then somebody comes to talk to you. Oh, no, not you. Get away from me. Like, is it really not a situation like that? Is this for real? Because this is TikTok. So I look at it and go, is this real? Are you just trying to make money? Because when you say I'm genuinely so lonely, I feel like I'm gonna alone, 100,000, 200,000, a million views. It's like, what do you trust, right?
Funeral home. Like, my grandparents literally lived in the building. And most people don't think about death until it's right in front of them. And I have been to so many funerals.
Bet
Literally,
you have.
death was a part of my everyday life. And the saddest funerals were not the ones that were tragic or the person that died was young. The saddest ones were the people who died alone. These people didn't have nobody to check on them, nobody to claim the body, nobody to provide clothes for the service, just a cremation. And sometimes these people aren't found until it's too late, until the body is decomposed. And a decomposed body is a smell that I will never forget. And it was one funeral where my cousin, because we all worked at the funeral home, she was standing over the body, literally picking the maggots out of the man's nose. It's not that these people didn't have families, but they push people away. They don't maintain relationships. And the saddest part is they glorifying the wrong things, like having multiple partners and avoiding accountability. How you 68 years old and you still want to be a player? That's not cute. That's not sustainable. It's just not a flex. Because when you just glorify that type of lifestyle, you either gonna end up in hospice or homeless. One of my biggest fears that if I had kids is that one day they would not want to be a part of my life. I couldn't imagine that. And sometimes people want to be right so bad to the point where you'll break up relationships because you feel like you're right. But when the family feuds, everybody's wrong. And I used to volunteer at this nursing home, and it was so sad when I used to see the older people. They just wanted human interaction. Like, all they wanted was for just me to listen to them and just for me to give them a hug because they didn't have anybody. Because I know I don't want to die alone. Like, when it's my time to go, I want to be surrounded by love and I want to leave a legacy. Why it's important to do right by people, take accountability, offer forgiveness, ask for forgiveness, and just move on.
Man, she came from a whole different angle. Like, she is afraid because she grew up seeing it, and she's right. You know, as you're living, you do have to be good to people. You can't be that old school player, and not just a player. You can't be that old school modern woman, right? Because a lot of, like, and it's sad, like with First Lady, this is her situation. But her situation, I'm sure she will have someone claim her. But still, as she's dreaming, and that's what it is, unnecessary dream. Like, why would you be thinking the worst? But no, the worst can happen. But I'm not thinking the worst. I believe I'm protected. Seriously, I'm not dreaming of or thinking about falling, slipping on a soap and busting my head and nobody knowing I'm there for days. Like, man, I'm sure I would be protected. But situations like this, yeah, don't be that person. Don't be that negative person. Don't be a jerk to everyone. You gotta do right by others as you will want others to do right by you.
People that were raised in love look down on people that were raised in trauma. People that were raised in love look down on people that were raised in survival mode, and
That's a who said.
they view us as damaged goods. There's a content creator on here, and I'm not gonna bash her. I love her content. But this video that she posted had like triggered me because she said that she does not allow herself to gallivant, immerse, or entangle with anyone who has ever been in survival mode, endured trauma, been in the streets, because we all, quote unquote, have this scheming con man personality, and we would do anything to get ahead because that's what people in survival mode do. They're very animalistic and barbarian. Now, that post triggered me so badly because I wholeheartedly disagree. I am somebody who was raised in childhood trauma, but I'm fighting for my life, for my peace. I'm intentionally doing so much holistic healing, therapy, and scientifically proven studies that will help rewire my neurological pathways. And I just remember thinking, what is the point of doing all this healing when you finally make it to the other side and now you've manifested your new friend group that was raised in love, that bask in peace, that makes your soul feel safe? When you finally manifested the love of your life, and he probably comes from a 2-parent household and never has had to struggle a day in their life, are they gonna look at me like I'm damaged goods? That used to be my worst fear. And seeing that post had hurt my feelings, and the comments was like triggering. People really look at us as if we're not good enough because we weren't lucky to be born enough in a family that loves us dearly. And I think that the average person lacks empathy, compassion, and emotional intelligence. Now, what she said is a paradox, which means that two things can't be true at once. I think that it is unfair to generalize a population or a demographic of people, such as anyone who has ever experienced survival mode, trauma of any sort, and immediately cast them as if they're not good enough, because there are people that are actively fighting to heal so they can get to the other side of the finish line where you were born at. Let's talk about it. People cannot control what family that they were born into. You just got lucky enough to be born into a family that actually loves you and accepts you for who you are, like you should have. I'm happy that you never had to experience that, but I do think that that's very privileged and ignorant to immediately assume that because somebody had trauma that they're a con man, a scheming, or a manipulative bad person. That is so dismissive, and it lacks emotional intelligence, because there are people that have spent years healing, going to therapy, and fighting to obtain their dream life. And just because you were born to what they had to struggle and therapize and heal to get to, you feel like they're not good enough for you. Now, I do think that everybody's allowed to have their own prerogative, their own preference, but it just seems very dismissive. What do you guys think about that? People that were raised in love look down on people that were raised in trauma. People that were raised in love look at people that were raised in survival mode as damaged goods. What are your thoughts?
I'll give you some advice. I won't give you thoughts. I'm going to give you some advice. You shouldn't care, right? You shouldn't care because you know deep down in your heart that's not true. But you feel the way because you feel there's still some truth to that, right? But if you're working on getting over some things, get over them. Don't reflect on what people say. Reflect on what you do. I repeat, don't worry about what anyone says. Worry about what you do. Hold yourself accountable. I can care less what the next man thinks about me. Throw my name in the dirt. I don't care. Throw my name in the mud. Step on my name. Do whatever. I don't care. It's bound to happen anyway. I repeat, my name is bound to be in the mud anyway. Why? Because when you following God, you will be under before you're up. So keep that in mind and keep going.
Need more than 2 to 3 years of being in a relationship to know if they want to marry you. I think they know in less than 2 years if they want to marry you. That's why I think, just my opinion, that the dating period should be 2 to 3 years maximum. If you meet a man in your late 20s or later and you want marriage and you are not engaged after 2 to 3 years of being in a relationship with him, I think there is a good chance that he is never going to marry you and that he is going to end up wasting your time. I've seen this play out with people I know. Like, women will stay in relationships for 4 or 5 years, live with the man, and not have a ring. This doesn't really apply, though, if you met young. If you met young or in your early 20s, it makes sense to date longer. The timing is different. I'm specifically talking about more mature relationships where you meet in your late 20s or later.
Men aren't doing it. In this day and age, in America, no. Men aren't doing it. Men don't trust. You have to understand, you can talk until your lips turn blue. You can make a video until you can't press the record button anymore. Most men are not going to marry in 2 to 3 years. They're going to push it to the limit. Why is that? Because you're allowing it. Also, they don't trust.
I wanted to take you on a first date, right? Where would you want to go?
Maybe to eat something, I don't know, to a restaurant.
What if I said, let's go to Burger King?
It's okay. I love Burger King.
What's your favorite thing on the menu?
Hamburger, maybe. I really don't care.
You don't understand. Look at me. I cannot go in the Cheesecake Factory.
There's nothing wrong.
I will die. That's embarrassing.
Some women just want love, loyalty, and stability, and others just looking for a meal ticket. These women are more focused on making a connection to your wallet and dating to survive. Some are using men for free meals, going on 3 to 4 dates a week. You have to start vetting these women. Take them on a coffee date on the first meetup. If she's worth it, then take her on an actual date.
That's the rule men follow. But the guy said at the end, Take them on a coffee date on the first meetup. After that, take them on a regular date. But I asked in the Philippines, I did it like 3-4 months ago. I asked questions in Cebu. I asked dinner, coffee, or walk in the park. Do you know what women said they would rather? Well, I'm in the Philippines. Same thing like how this woman would say. They said, I would rather, they didn't, none of them really said dinner. They said, I'd rather get coffee then walk in the park. Because the coffee, then walk with the coffee. They were saying, I'd rather walk in the park with the coffee and talk to him. I want to get to know the man. I want to understand what's on his mind. Same thing men think. That's how men from here think. So where are men going? Men are going places like here, places like other places to find women because they think with the same mindset. Modern women have too much competition nowadays. They just don't understand how fierce that competition is. This is Desirable Truth, right? This is Channel. This woman, yes, she's overseas. But right now, he came across her in America. These women are coming across the shores. Who are they going to be dating? I'll let you think about it. Your competition is here.
A guy sent me a post yesterday, and the post basically said, why might some women take on single motherhood versus giving the child to the father full time or allowing the father to get full custody of the kid? And my reason that I think most women would rather struggle than give the kid to the father is because, first and foremost, most women love to play victim. Most women are obsessed with being in a victimized state of mind. Most women know that they will get benefits and government assistance from them children. So if they give the children to the father, then how will they get ahead in life? Another reason why women are not going to be quick to hand a father custody of a child is because women love to whine, women love to complain, women love to look for reasons to blame the father, blame the man. Women understand that there's a lot of benefit with the child as a single mother. Women understand that there is a lot of free housing, free food, free Medicaid. You know, there's a lot of people that's going to automatically feel sorry for a woman when she's a single mom. You know, it allows them to sink in sorrow, and it allows them to just be able to just play that victim role. Like, oh my God, I'm a single mom. His dad's not available. His dad won't do this. His dad won't do that. Whole time there's a father that's saying, just give me the child if you're struggling with the child. But why would they give y'all the child when that will snatch away their get ahead in life? That's going to snatch away their benefits in life. Because most fathers are not going to just be quick to run to government assistance when they take on their child. Most men are going to take on their child and they're just going to simply do what needs to be done. But women need that step ahead. So they're not going to hand y'all over a child that's helping them to get ahead in life. They're just not. Another reason why a woman is not going to be quick to give a father full custody is for attachment reasons. You know, some women really be attached to the fathers of their children. A lot of women don't even be wanting the children per se. They just be wanting the long time, lifetime connection with that man through that child. So if that man says, here, just give me my kid, you pretty much pops the bubble of her delusion. Like, she wants to still feel connected to that man in some way. So no, she's not going to just hand over the child, because you're not going to take her out of her delusional thought process. You're just absolutely not going to do that. To be honest, being a victim allows most women to escape their reality, and it allows them to escape accountability. Also, women love to be able to control the narrative. They love to be able to make the father look like he's the bad guy. And the only way that a woman is willing to literally put aside her feelings and allow a father to step in and really parent his child is when she's fully healed from whatever they had going on. Most women only bank and grade the father's fathering based off how she feels about him. So
you see this, what she's saying, and that's the case with a lot. But we have to get over this because kids are struggling because of it. Kids are ending up in prison. Kids are ending up killing people, doing all sorts of things that are not right, right? Kids are turning gay because of it. A lot of these things are happening. Kids are not holding themselves accountable as they get older. because a man brings all of that. It brings masculinity. It brings accountability. It brings organization. All of those things a kid needs to turn into an adult. If you want your kid to grow into a great person, a great adult, send them to their fathers.
Women's greatest fear is being alone.
So my biggest fear is that when I do my MRIs, something's going to happen to the MRI tech and he's going to have to get up and walk away. And then something's going to happen, like an earthquake or a fire, right? And I'm going to be trapped in the MRI machine and burn alive. But sure, being alone sounds terrible too.
Oh, absolutely.
No, she said that with a cat. She really means that though. She was trying to be funny, but as she's saying that, she has her cat. She's alone. Sad situation.
This used to be me, y'all. My baby daddy ain't and stand his ugly fat. All he do is talk, no action. It's straight yapper. Ain't got no motion. When you look up deadbeat in the dictionary, you gonna see that picture right next to it. Get on my nerve, broke ass. That was my favorite to say about his ass. It wasn't until one day my higher self said, you do realize he is a reflection of where you were at the time when you met him, right? What? What you mean? Literally me getting an attitude with my higher self. Like, what are you talking about? The people we attract are reflections of us. Energy we put out in the universe is what we gonna get back. At the time, I didn't see my worth. I thought I wasn't. So guess who I attracted? Somebody who wasn't. That's where I was vibrating at the time, though. I always get people who say, well, no, this person showed their true colors after like 2 or 3 months, or after a year. No, that person's true colors always been there. That's why they say love is blind. You choose to ignore them colors. As you level up, evolve, and start to grow, that mask slips off. Who changed in the situation? You or them? It was you. You leveled up, you grew, and you saw past the bull. For them, they stayed the same the whole time. It's just that you are able to see it clearly now. Next time you say your baby daddy or baby mama ain't, remember, those true colors was always a part of the painting. You just weren't ready to recognize them in the beginning, sweetie. The beautiful thing is, once those colors decide to show, you have the power and the choice to either move forward or fall back. You can't be mad at somebody for showing their true self. But instead, you gotta ask why you allowed yourself to paint over those colors with your own expectations. So no matter how you want to paint this picture, every relationship is a reflection. You start to heal and align with your highest self, see people's colors clearly from the start. Remember, the energy that you allow is a reflection of what you believe you deserve. Shift those beliefs and you'll realize how quickly those colors start to change. Peace, love, and light, and gratitude for watching.
Answer's coming.